Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. And remember, you're good-looking, because always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance. Welcome. My name is Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. It's the ambassador of joy. And you have tuned in purposely to the Eye on Las Vegas. Eye on Las Vegas, this remarkable, unique place in the desert of Nevada. And it's just a fabulous situation that we have here. And in this remarkable city that is one of the most visited places on the planet. That's right. More than 40 million people every single year come to Las Vegas and visit because it's a remarkably interesting place, and we have remarkably interesting people. So I just want to tell you where God willing will be having. Oh, speaking of interesting people, da-da, 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 it is my fabulous, fantastic friend, Ava Manuel. I'll be introducing her in just a moment. Tell everybody, look at that. If you're able to see this and not just listen, you see a beaming, bountiful, beneficent, beautiful being in front of you. And I just want to give some background to something here. When we talk about Las Vegas and one of the most visited places on earth, and over 40 million people annually coming here, to put that in perspective, it is take the population of California, one of the largest states in the United States, and add to it the population of Oregon, a very large state north of California. Add to it the population of Washington State, another large state north of Oregon. Put them all together, and they don't even equal the amount of people that come to Las Vegas every year. Right. It's been more than 40. It's over 40.8, maybe 41 million people. So I want to just tell everybody how wonderful it is to be here. I'm resident here now for 3 years, and I'm happy to welcome someone who just moved here months ago. And she's very special. She is the editor-in-chief of one of the most important fountains of communication for positivity, purposeful, positive, powerful, pleasant information that is transformational. It's not just information. It's not just inspiration. It's transformational. So she is the editor-in-chief of the LA Tribune. You say, Barry, wait a minute. LA Tribune, Las Vegas? Yes, because she's putting her roots here in Las Vegas now, and she understands that the LA Tribune is a global experience. How do you like that, Ava, as an introduction? So without a further ado, my dear friend, Ava Manuel, please say hello to some 380 plus thousand people around the world who are tuning in and loving Eye on Las Vegas. Oh, that was a beautiful hello, except that one thing, Ava, you're still muted. Oh, it's the genius of it. Yeah, you're still muted. It's the genius of technology. When it works, it's fabulous. And when it doesn't, oh, well, we have the silent movies. Now, yes.
Hello, everybody.
So you just got a taste of something amazing. You see, when you're dealing with remarkable people who understand that they are channels of goodness in the world, there's this overflowing fountain of goodness. So Ava, I want to hand it back to you. You're the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Tribune, founded in the 19th century. So we're in the 21st century. So we're talking about 3 centuries of publishing this remarkable communication device. We're not going to call it a paper because it's beside the point. It's really about communicating what I call the 4 Ps: positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. So is that true? And why are you so committed to the LA Tribune?
Well, one of the things that our slogan is news that inspires, educates, and empowers. We are redefining media. And we are, what we say is change the status quo. That's our slogan. And we at the Los Angeles Tribune stands for positive news. And what we mean by positive news is not the kind of positive news that that denies the truth, or denies what is, but it is, being able to show a leadership way to lead ourselves from our situations. Right now we're in the middle of LA Leadership Week. It is something new that the Los Angeles Tribune has started. We celebrated May 1st to 7th, and it's going on right now. You can check out laleadershipweek.com. And we have speakers, over 200 speakers from all over the world, including Barry Shore, and Barry Shore's guest, very special guest that he brings in, who is just really giving their best when it comes to tips and strategies to growing your leadership. And that brings us to a question of, like, who are the leaders? We always say in the Los Angeles Tribune, if you're breathing, and if you're speaking, you lead. You lead your life, you lead your family, you lead your children, you lead your business, you lead your coworkers. We are all co-creators in every space we find ourselves in, and we all have the ability to lead. And that's what we're fostering in the Los Angeles Tribune.
So this is wonderful. And again, we here on Eye on Las Vegas, we recognize that the world, as you said, redefining media.
Yes, for
There is
sure.
no geography anymore. The world is one. We all know it. Not all. The ones that are leading want everybody to know that you are, as you said so eloquently, Ava, you're a leader in your own world. You're a
For
leader
sure.
for yourself, family, friends, business, whatever situation you're in. And the genius of leadership is exactly as you're pointing out. Let's do something wonderful. Let's drop names, because celebrity is the spark that ignites the masses. So
Of course.
last year, this is the second year we're doing Leadership Week. Is that correct?
It's the first year.
Oh, the first year. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So we have
We are
not just
starting this, Barry, as a movement. So it starts with LA Leadership Week,
ah
a Dallas Leadership Week. There's a Chicago Leadership Week. There's a New York Leadership Week. I'm like, why not amplify leadership? We're looking at Shark Week. We're looking at Fashion Week, right? But leadership is something that we really have to raise consciousness on, because we have the ability to change our situations.
By the way,
We don't have to
let
die
me
where we're
let
born.
me put you on pause for a moment. It's so because again, it's Eye on Las Vegas. Las Vegas hosts a remarkable show called Magic. And Magic has been in Las Vegas now more than 20 years. It is the place. They used to have two venues. I'm not sure they do anymore. That is the essence of fashion, really forward fashion for the world, not Milan and Paris. That's a different kind of fashion. This is fashion for humans, as I'll say.
Okay.
It also happens to be, as everybody knows, I think, Las Vegas is the convention capital of the world. It is the
Yes.
place where jewelers from all over the world come to show their wares. Every single major organization. So when you talk about Leadership Week, we are, as you said, redefining media. Now let's talk about some of these 200 speakers. I'm honored, humbled to be amongst them. And thank you, Ava, for that. And of course, we need to mention, we're going to drop a name. It's a great name, by the way, because when I tell you the name, you're going to say, yeah, we're going to drop it like a stone, right? His name is Mo Rock,
Oh my gosh.
Moerock. And I want to say just 30 seconds on Mo Rock because some of it is very fun. So Mo Rock has no nationality per se. He's an American. He was born in a different country. He is fully American, fully embracing the American ideal of growth, growth in every aspect of life, physical, mental, and spiritual. The reason I find it so fascinating, Ava, is because here in Las Vegas, anybody who wants to study the history of Las Vegas knows that there was a person named Mo Green. Mo Green was, okay, he was a gangster. That's how Las Vegas started. It was a place to attract gambling, and it evolved. It grew, and it grew into something that is really wholesome, pleasant, positive, purposeful in almost every aspect of it. It's a very family-oriented place now where people come to enjoy life. Am I correct on that? So Mo Rock, a huge hello and an applause, a round of applause for Mo Rock. He began the Los Angeles Tribune by buying this unique property and really with a vision, as Ava said so eloquently, the vision is to inspire, to grow, to transform. And we together we can do it. That is really the ability here is together. Let's drop some names of these 200 people, some big names that everybody knows, and they want to listen to you. You must tune in. It's the week of May 5th, 2nd. When do we begin? Began yesterday?
Began yesterday, May 1 to 7th.
Right.
Yes.
So May 1st to the 7th, it's you can't go wrong. But if you tune in for 15 minutes, it will shift your life. And that's shift. You got to keep the F in place. Shift your life. So tell us some of the people. You got that. When I deal with people, I start orient them towards positivity and stuff. They tend to drop the F and shift, and the other stuff happens. You want to keep your F in place. So you want to shift your perspective.
Keep your F in place.
Yeah, keep your F in place. F in people. So tell us some of the people that are involved because it makes a difference. Let's be blunt.
Absolutely. Some of the people that are involved definitely is Les Brown, Sharon Lechter, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, co-author. Also, we've got Victor Hansen,
Mark Victor Hansen from Chicken Soup for the Soul series.
For the Soul, for sure. We've got Ty Lopez, Russell Brunson, Jay Abraham, Forbes Riley, Dr. Joe Vitale.
Wait, I want to put you on pause for a moment. The names roll off Ava's tongue because I'm going to embarrass her. She organizes. She makes everything happen. She's a rock star. I mean, and I don't mean an R-O-C-K. She is R-A-W-K. She's a rock star. Rock. Yeah. She does. She makes things rock and roll. So when she says so glibly and wonderfully, Les Brown, unless you've been living under a rock, I mean, R-O-C-K, Les Brown is one of the most important motivators for transformation in our history. Same with Mark Victor Hansen and Sharon Lechter. I mean, these are people who stand out because they stand for something important, which is transformation, which is redefining self. Everybody goes through struggles. Let's be blunt. If you don't struggle, you're not human. Ty Lopez literally shows people how to fulfill their dreams when they translate it into a real goal. Russell Brunson is the founder of the whole process of funnels. I mean, funnels are fundamental to success in the business world today. And he's the fun. He's speaking and everything. Let's emphasize it's a 4-letter F word. How much does it cost to come to Leadership Week, Ava?
Free.
Wait a minute. Can I hear that again?
Free.
It's an 4-letter F word.
Yes.
The 4-letter F word, free. It does take the 4-letter F word ending with K. Work. What do you mean work? You need to tune in. Where do we go? Where should people go?
LALeadershipweek.com.
LALeadershipweek.com. Just go. Because it's about you. It's as much as we love Ava, and she is beautiful, but outside, inside, and LA Tribune, Mo Rock, and what's happening. It's all about you. See, nothing happens unless one person reaches out to another, and to another, and then multiplying that effect. We create a tsunami of goodness. Is that fair to say, Ava?
Yes, a tsunami of goodness for sure.
Woo! I'll tell you what we're going to do in a moment, though. We have sponsors that love the show, and we're going to urge you to frequent them. We wouldn't have it on just one, and we'll be back literally less than a minute. Don't go away because there's more Ava on the other side of this. Get ready.
We'll be
Enjoy. We'll
back.
be back.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. Our cup runneth over with good. It's a human. Her name is Ava Manuel. She's the editor-in-chief of one of the most important communication tools in the world today. It's known as LA Tribune. LA Tribune. 3 centuries it spans. Isn't that amazing? And this week is called Leadership Week, sponsored by the LA Tribune. So just go to laleadershipweek.com, right?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
guess what? F everybody. Free.
Everybody.
Ava,
Yes.
Ava, tell us, please, how did you get to be the editor-in-chief of the LA Tribune? That's a big gig.
It absolutely is. We're redefining media, as I said, and we're changing the status quo. So it takes someone who hasn't had the education of a normal journalist and hasn't had the education or the training from a normal newsroom to actually be able to accomplish that calling. So my background is in healthcare. I've been a physical therapist, helping patients from bedbound to walking to thriving in life for over 25 years. And I got tired of seeing patients broken and very ill in the hospital beds. I was a hospital physical therapist at that time. And I looked for ways to educate people before they get in the hospital, because as I do my assessment with patients, I could literally tell them what they could have done a week or two ago to not be in the place we're in there at the hospital bed. And normally when physical therapy, at least in the hospital I was working at one of the top 50 cardiac hospitals in the nation. So we're seeing a lot of open heart surgeries, a lot of like severe strokes that are flown into the hospital. And it would take them months, if even, for them to recover. And I could tell them what they could have done differently a week or two ago. And so I started a show on Facebook called How to Not. And it's my therapy. I call it my therapy. Every time I would be in front of a frustrating case, there's no point of telling them what they could have done differently, right? So I would go on the show and say how to not, have a stroke, severe stroke, how to not, like I created how to not, and I would generate like 2 to 5 viewers, and one of them is my husband. So I started to look into YouTube and say, how do you grow an audience? How do you become more visible? And one of the first things that came up was a video by a mentor who became mentor of mine for the last 4 years already, Shanda Sumter, and she teaches how to do summits really well. And at that time, I started to create my own summit. And the first speaker that I had in my first summit, was offered a show at the Los Angeles Tribune, and she didn't know how to do it. And she said, hey, can you use your summit model to help me do my weekly show at the Los Angeles Tribune? So I did that. And then at that time, the Los Angeles Tribune was like middle of COVID, beginning of COVID. Like all of the speakers had their speaking engagement canceled. They have nowhere to speak. And there's a world that's trapped in their houses. So they were looking into how to gather the speakers in one platform. They do weekly shows, but they don't know how to do a whole summit. And I said, I'll do it. So six summits in, we've done really big, huge summits from anywhere that we started with 60 speakers to now over 200. With New Psychology of Winning with Dennis Waitley, Can You Really Think and Grow Rich with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. We've done neuroscience with New Calm. So after about 6 summits in, this is what leadership does, I was offered the newspaper. And when I first said, leadership always says yes, and then you figure it out later on.
Wait a minute, wait. I want to put you on pause on something. What you just said is the genius of Ava and the genius of leadership. When I spoke yesterday, I mentioned there were 3 defining characteristics of a leader. Number 1, being able to make a decision promptly and stick with it, with what the information you have. Number 2, to take action. And number 3, to be emotionally bulletproof. But let's go with what you just said, because this is the genius. Yes, then we'll figure it out. That's leader.
Well, so what's funny, Barry, was that I spent a lot of nights crying, feeling like I wasn't qualified to do this. I literally, thank God that, it was the beginning of ChatGPT, and I was asking ChatGPT to write me a feature article and then write me a lifestyle article to be able to see the difference. And I was researching. I felt so unqualified, supervising a team of journalists and not having graduated journalism school, right? But there was something that really changed that. I felt incompetent. I felt like that this wasn't my place, but I was trusted and I was offered, that because of my history with LA Tribune and doing the summits over 6 summits, in. And so one time we were asked to cover the fundraiser that Paris Hilton is DJing in. It's with Tiffany Haddish, and I showed up for the press release and for the press coverage, and I took all of the notes, took all of the pictures. It so happened my videographer wasn't available because it was a last minute invitation. It was the same day we were invited, the same day. And I went ahead and looked at all of the different organizations that she's supporting and took pictures of them, interviewed them. And then I wrote the press release, the post-event press release. Next day, the organizer who invited us kept messaging me. This star showed, shared your article. This star shared your article. This celebrity shared your article. And I'm like, why? And so I started to Google the press releases, and I didn't realize, thank God I wasn't educated as a normal journalist, right? I didn't realize that they just do cookie cutter. Like there's one press release that all of the other news organization copies. And the way I've written the press release is the way I do physical therapy assessment. In the healthcare industry, what you didn't write, you didn't do. And so everything that happened, I wrote, like all of the awardees, all of the organizations, all of the presenters, all of those who participated in the auction. And so it was a whole dissertation. But that's the difference in realizing that that's our superpower, now being positioned as the media that elevates expertise in leadership.
Wait a minute. I want to, again, put you on pause. There's so much to unpack here. It's so wonderful. The ability to elevate.
Yes.
The ability to evaluate. And I want to make mention of something that is so important. And that's one of the reasons I asked Ava to tell us her background. She didn't go to journalism school and then graduated and now go to, okay, I'm going to be editor-in-chief of this or that. And it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is. You can shift, keep that F in place, perspective. And notice what she said here, what she shared with us. The way she did assessments in detail, the analysis, the ability to understand, she brought those same skills into this other program that she's now called editor-in-chief.
Yes.
But it was the skills that you had,
right,
that you were able to analyze and help and get people back on their feet. In this case, by transformation through redefining media.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, Barry, if you look at the advancements and the innovations right now everywhere, it takes someone outside of that industry to be able to give it a new look. It takes someone who wasn't educated in there, like for example, the worker Naveen Jain in medical technology. It takes someone who wasn't educated as a doctor to be able to say, well, we can do this, like why we can do that, like be able to see something outside of our education. And so that's what's going on right now with how we're elevating and like not it was never done before, the way we elevate and spotlight expertise and leadership in the Los Angeles Tribune.
Elevate and spotlight leadership. This is so wonderful. I want to make mention of two particular people, if I may.
Yeah.
One of them is Jay Abraham.
Mm.
I mention him for two reasons, maybe three. One is because he is chronologically my age, maybe even older, 70, in the 70s, we'll call it. So one might think, well, gee, that's an older person. And he does what wonderful Ava just talked about. He's continuously looking outside of what he did. He's not copying what he's always done. He's innovating. Now, that is remarkable. That's a skill that he worked with. So now in his 7th decade and known around the world as one of the most important people in the business thinking, the mindset world, he's continually innovating. I'll make mention also of a good friend of ours, a man named Jim Poole. And Jim Poole runs a remarkably important company called Newcom. And Newcom has continuously reinventing what he's doing and bringing to the world a process that enables people to live calmly and with purpose, so you can reduce the stress. And he just announced that he has a great partnership with Tony Robbins. So he's continuously innovating himself.
For sure.
But these are the people that are available to you for free during Leadership Week. LALeadershipweek.com, free. The F word, 4-letter F word. We only have a few more minutes, wonderful Ava.
But before that, Barry, let me interrupt you since you mentioned Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham is live today at 12 o'clock Pacific.
12 o'clock Pacific, Jay Abraham. And again, behind the scenes stuff, I've asked Ava yesterday for a couple of things, and within minutes, it was done. I mean, and look at it again. If you're able to see this, it's even better than just listening. Okay, listening is wonderful. The transformational process that she's sharing with us, you got to see this beaming face because it's just such a pleasure. And I am so honored that you made time today because I know you have other things to do. And you said, I'm doing it. Again, leader. Leader is an interesting word, Ava. Leader. Take those same letters and scramble them up, and you have the word dealer. So a leader, in my world, a leader is a dealer in hope.
Wow.
A dealer in hope. Hope stands for helping others progress every day, which is what you do. That's the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Tribune, the unique communication device that is redefining media. Isn't that what you say?
Yes.
So we have just a minute. What can you share with us in our remaining minute, please?
I would say, our world right now is really opening up opportunities for us to reinvent ourselves and to lead ourselves beyond where we are at the moment. And I invite you to embrace it, take it on fully, embrace the challenge and the opportunity to redefine yourself, reinvent yourself. And I always say, be passionate and relentless in pursuing what makes you come alive.
Woo! Makes it come alive. Ava Manuel, I'm so happy that you're here with us today. The LA Leadership Week, the editor-in-chief of the LA Tribune. If you're not familiar with it, become familiar with it. Anywhere in the world. Hello. This is a global experience to bring positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant energy to the world. As we like to do, may I give you a hug as to finish off the program. Okay, HUG stands for HUG, heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Don't go away. Wonderful, Ava.